is one Brahmanda. 14 Bhuvanas in one Brahmanda. Like this, there are Akhilanda Koti, innumerable number of such parallel existences, and he efficiently manages it. Avartanaha. So we have to go out into the space to find. Keep going. Avartanaha. And he is also called Nivrittatma. That pure self, in spite of all such comprehensive expansion, he is totally detached. Meaning, he does not get influenced by anything that can be called as worldliness. That's why the example given is Padma Patra Mivambhasa, like the lotus leaf or the lotus in the murky waters. Even if there is a drop or two that falls onto the leaf, a gentle breeze and it will just come away. It is in the system, but yet not tainted by the system. You may get angry if I take this example, but it's one good example to reach out. It is like when we go through the Vedantic classes. We are in the system but uninfluenced by the knowledge. You get it, right? That's why I had a disclaimer. Don't get angry. Nivritta Atma. See, both root words, Varta is to efficiently draw the Vritta means a circle. Everything is in a cyclic motion. Varta to efficiently manage that motion. Nivritta is to withdraw from that cyclic motion at will. Many or all of us are with the Abhimanyu syndrome, that we know how to jump in, we do not know how to jump out. Even when the environment, surroundings and all that which is indicating to us, get out, we still are like hanging in there. It seems once Narad Muniji went to Bhagwan, I failed to understand. Narad Muni, Markandeya and all such people, they go ask Bhagwan himself directly, say, Bhagwan, we have been hearing about your Maya. We want to experience your Maya Shakti 100%. Bring it on. That is what we seek. Why? So Narad Bhagwan, he goes to Sriman Narayana and he says, I don't think I have seen your Maya and its influence completely. Can you please show me what Maya means? So instantly Naradji is turned into a pig and thrown on the earth. Pretty soon finds a handsome match, gives birth to dozens of piglets. Meanwhile, few years have passed by and few piglets are born and sleeping right in the middle of the road in the puddle with all these little piglets suckling on. And he is going, awe, looking at all those piglets, leading that, murky, dirty life as a pig. So after few such years, every season gives birth to few piglets, and is going through the cycle of being a pig. So Bhagavan finally comes and he knocks. Beta Narad. So as a pig, I am Narayana speaking. He says, wait, I am busy feeding my offsprings. So Bhagavan waits patiently with me. Are you done? Can we speak? You are in my Maya right now. You had asked for it. You have to get out of it. So Naraji looks at Narayana and he says, why in heaven anybody would want to leave this? I am comfortable where I am. If at all you need to take me somewhere important, I will come only if you take all my children along with me. So then Bhagavan knocks some sense into that pig who is Narada. And then Narada wakes up from that little experience of Maya, from the dream, as though. And he says, Bhagavan, what happened? So he rewinds this entire story and says, no way, it is not me. So we know how to get in. And the funny thing is, we think it is very, very intelligent in trying to understand how did I end up getting trapped in here. You will have enough time to think about it. First get out. See, supposing you are in a flooding zone and the room that you are in is flooding up and it has almost reached to your height. You are barely able to. What is the most intelligent thing to do at that particular time? Float, get out to safety, right? But if you start sitting at that time wondering, where did this all start from? Is that the time and place to? And that is what most of us end up in, in the Vedantic discussions, self-unfoldment, study group discussions. Why this creation? Get out of it and then start thinking. Nivritta Atma, the one who knows when to act this Prakriti in as the expansion of the world, and at the same time be completely uninfluenced by the worldliness of it, by the limitations of the worldliness of it. Nivritta Atma, the one who knows how to withdraw oneself. Now, even in a simple sense of understanding, not from the highest spiritual sense, every action that we are involved or engaged in, if we can consciously understand, consciously act, that as soon as that particular action is performed, I withdraw from it without carrying the baggage into the next experience. I have only gone once to this high-end restaurant. And it was a 7-course meal. So the first course was the salad. The second course was the soup. So after every course, the plates, the, what do you call those spoons and forks? Silverware. There's no silver in it, but still they call it silverware. So the silverware, even the the napkin that comes along with it, the plates, everything is removed. And before the next cutlery is given, they give you a dollop of sorbet. so that you throw it in, and it is supposed to cleanse your palate, so that it is ready for the next course and the next gush of all these tastes, and your palate is ready to taste them. And that's called fine dining. Only once. No, I'm not complaining. I'm glad. Because to go through the fine dining, you need a lot of patience. You need to wait upon them to bring in all those things, and then you have to really nakhre bahut hote hain udhar. When you are so careful about the food that you eat, that the palate has to be clean and be ready for the next taste, how much more careful should we be with moving from one experience to the next experience? Involve 100%, give it into that moment. After that experience is done, as you withdraw, bundle it up and put it aside. With your debriefing and all the notes and points that you have to make note, make it, bundle it up, put it aside, and move forward. So you go with that muddy hands into one experience, and you come out, don't even clean, get into an operation theatre. Do you do that? Can a doctor be playing sports and rush into an operating room and start conducting operations? There are a couple of doctors here, they can tell us better. Do you still have to scrub a lot? Do you have to take a shower? Scrub at least, very clean. 3 to 5 minutes of scrubbing with that soap and antibacterial stuff and I don't know what not, and then wear all those. They are also called scrubs, I think, right? Because you wear them after the scrubbing or something, so they are also nicknamed as scrubs. And then, thus purified, you enter into the operation room. After the operation, when you come out, do you clean yourself up again? If you are planning to go to the next one, you have to clean yourself again. These are all intelligent practices. With the experiences, the ability to be nivrittatma, with every single experience, that this experience done, wrap it up, move to the next one, without corrupting the next experience. Otherwise, this particular experience is agitating one, creating a lot of restlessness. You move to the next one carrying this restlessness, and this domino effect, this ripple effect not just affects my actions, my experience, but all those whom I am interacting with, contaminates all of them. And this ripple effect doesn't stop there. There are some senseless ones, there are some sensitive ones, there are oversensitive ones. And if the boss or somebody says something early in the morning, and you constantly are worked up at why did he say this? I have been really doing good. And then with that worked up thing, you pass it on to your subordinate, the subordinate to the next level, You come to the restaurant and scream at that fellow takes it to some other level. You come back home with that frustration, and the poor little kid is looking at that, daddy, and you scream at that fellow. You need some weakling to gush this out. It has its own effect. One fellow's, what is this theory called? That one butterfly somewhere spreads its wings and there is a tornado here. Is it called the chaos theory? It's called the chaos theory, I think. Tomorrow I'll confirm it. And if it is all that connected, should we not be careful from moving from one experience to the next? That as you move to the next experience, go in fresh. All the frustration, agitation, anxiety and the guilt and everything, go into the next experience and smear it all over it and then say, my life is like this only. Nothing in my life is good. It is not that the experience is coming with some dirt. It is that I am moving into the experience with lot of dirt. Nivrittatma. Therefore, the rishis have said that every individual should at least pray twice in a day. This is not even for an advanced seeker, for the simple human life. Pray twice a day, so that you enter into the world of experience with fresh, rejuvenated mind, and when you wind up at the end of the day, you clean everything inside out. As you advance, every single experience, when you move forward, you give your 100%. Once that is done, you wrap it up, put it aside, move to the next one with clean slate. That is when you thoroughly enjoy every moment of life. Nivrittatma. Otherwise, we only have hangovers. 20% is there hanging over, another 10-15% in the office, another 15% in the anxiety of what will happen next. I have sent in an application. Then there is another 10-15% hanging over with the guilt factors of life, of the past experiences. How much is really available at that particular moment? 2-3%. If with 2-3% of you have about 50% of joy and 50% of sorrow, imagine if it is 100% of life. Wouldn't life be worth enjoying? And that is the only one who can really enjoy. The rest of us fake that we enjoy. How is life? Awesome. As soon as the person says, what awesome, my head. The next person comes, how is life? Great. What great? Just at least to show the rest of them on the street that you are doing good. After you close your doors, what you weep is you are weeping. Nivrittatma. The ability to withdraw. The world should not kick us out. We should be able to kick the world out of us. Whenever the world starts kicking at us, that is when all frustrations and irritations start. Before it can scratch you, you clean yourself up with it. Nivrittatma. Samvritaha. Samvritaha, the one who cannot be recognized. Why is it that he cannot be recognized? Because the platform from which we are trying to visualize that God, many seeker or many student asks this question. If there is God, show me God. As there is this famous statement which goes around being attributed to various people. Is from the Rig Veda, wherein the student asks, I want happiness. The teacher says, Beta, first drop I. It shows the presence of ego. Second, drop the want. That shows your desires of the ego. Drop the ego and the desires of that ego. What remains is happiness. As long as we keep carrying the effort in search of the right thing, but through the wrong means, through the ego, as the ego, trying to be happy and to find that permanency, there is nothing more stupid. And you will not find it. See, again the same root word, vritaha. But this time it is samvritaha. Samvritaha, enveloped from all directions that we are not able to perceive. Where is he? He is right here, right now. Why can't I see? If I show a live wire and say there is electricity in it, because you are not in touch, in connection with it. And when you touch that live wire and you have that personal experience and you scream in that joy, ha, woo, ha, woo. If that Paramatma is here, why am I not able to see it? Because the drishti with which I am trying to see itself is a limited drishti. And why do we limit it? Because we have not learned to see any other way. And the conviction is deep. It is not just one lifetime. It is life's time worth of conviction that I am this limited being is being carried forward. Therefore, the intense japa and upasana to reconvince the mind that I am not this limited, I am this unlimited. Once that conviction is created, as one Mahatma puts it, that this upasana, what should be the result of the upasana? Nothing less than the darshan of the Lord. He says, not even darshan, even if there is just the introduction of that vision, that you can smell divine fragrances. And that seeker becomes unmattavat, intoxicated. Not with this silly little drugs or liquor, or intoxicated with that smell. That the conviction that I am this limited being, it just drops. Until then, though he is that very truth, standing right here, right now, cannot be perceived. Samvritaha. And not understanding this, we start spiraling down, and a downward spiral, into sensuous way of life, not realizing the true glory of one's own existence. Kama, krodha, lobha, irsha, asuya, dvesha, desires, passions, lust, greed, envy, and we keep giving into these things. At least in the Satya Yuga there was one Rakshasa for the entire Yuga. By the time we came to Kali Yuga, so we have had Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, then we have Ravana, Kumbhakarna, then Shishupala, Dantavakra. All of them put together in little ounces is there in each one of our heart by the time we come to Kali Yuga. See, to do good things, so much of satsang is required. To do bad things, nobody needs to tell, nobody needs to welcome, nobody needs to inspire, nobody needs to give you a pep talk. It seems inherent, like there's such a draw towards doing all these. Therefore, we have to be that much more careful. What will happen otherwise? The next word, sampramardanaha. Mardayati or mardana means to give a healthy massage, rub, that you have some kind of a ache or something and then you massage yourself. Pramardana, viciously squeezing every ounce of life in. Sampramardanaha, from all possible angles that can be squeezed. Like I'm sure you love sugarcane juice. Is there anybody who doesn't like sugarcane juice? It is like instant glucose IV. Sugarcane juice. Have you seen the machine that is used to squeeze the juice out? So there are two wheels, right? Two wheels, rollers that are rolling, and they're in a very small gap. And you push this sugarcane stick or through. And usually there's only one stick pushed, and then they pull it out from the other side, bend it into half, push it again, and then pull it out, again bend it into half, maybe to spice it up and put some taste to it, a piece of lemon and piece of ginger also inside. Now that big a stick now has become only this length. That also is squeezed in again. Again you pull it out. As you are pushing it this time, you are rolling it up. That all the juices that are there should be coming out, oozing out, and as it is squeezing it in, by the end of it, that which is thrown away. How is it? Nissaravat. There is no more rasa sara in it. The essence is all squeezed away. That is called sampramardana. If we do not change our ways, God is standing there as what? In the form of disease, decay, death, disaster, all these factors. This we have seen even in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Kalosmi lokakshaya krit pravruddhaha. That, hey Arjuna, this terrible form that you are so scared of is called the form of Kala. And what does Kala do? Jagat Bhakshakaha. Kalo Jagat Bhakshakaha. That as time, I devour anything and everything. And the description there is so graphic. In the 11th chapter, the Kala Rupa is so graphic. Aneka Bahu Daravaktra Netram. He is so huge. See, you see your teeth in the mirror, which I still don't understand. And you have to brush. Why do you have to look into the mirror to brush? Anyways, so you brush, you look into the mirror, you see a size of it. A dentist looking at your teeth through the magnifying lens, or do they look through microscope? They are looking convex mirror. So it magnifies. Arjuna is saying, Lord, your teeth are looking like fort. Your teeth size are looking like fort. And all these people that you are devouring from this war, he had a glimpse of the future. Dronam cha, Bhishmam cha, Jayadrathan cha. All these people, they are like in between your teeth, caught, squeezed. Churnitaihi uttamangaihi. Uttamanga means the head. And what is happening to that? Churnita. Powdered. Emulsified. Because you are the form of death. We keep going through this cycle of birth and death again and again and again. And through such sorrow and misery. Sampramardanaha. Mardanaha is a good thing. And that too, good thing only if the one who is doing that mardana knows how to do it. Sometimes over enthusiastically, Guruji likes good massage. If I am there around, he'll call Skobula. So sometimes when people over enthusiastically, they say, no, Swamiji, we will do it. So after they leave, Guruji says, you do. So we have our language. So, how was it, Swamiji? Was it like the ant or the feather on your feet? I think this one was like an ant. Like, this is. And sometimes you don't know when to apply pressure or where to apply pressure. Instead of relieving the pain, you start getting more. Even that mardana also has to be done by a person who knows it efficiently. Pramardanaha. Pramardanaha is to squeeze with such excessive force. Sampramardanaha. Sampramardanaha, to squeeze out every ounce of life. So Bhagavan acts as that aspect as well. When lot of death, lot of destruction happens, people question why. Tsunami happens, why? Genocides happen, why? There is nothing that is not happening without His will. Then we suddenly become the judgment factors of this creation. If at all there is God and He is the one who is doing all this. The funny thing is, whether you believe in it or not, He still holds His position irrespective of your belief system. every individual, as long as is limited in the ignorance of the understanding that I am this body, mind and intellect, I am this ego, will have to go through these disease, death, decay, disasters, destructions again and again and again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. Iha samsare bahudustare, kripaya pare, pahi murare. And who is the only solace? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Ji says it beautifully. He says that when you throw the grain into the chakki, chakki is, there are two pieces of stone. Okay. One piece of stone is stable, and right in the middle there is a peg, around which the upper stone, which is of a lighter weight, it has a handle, and while you are rotating it, you pour the seeds, dhanya, into the hole there on the upper stone, and that is how you grind the various flours and other things in the older system. And when the British were holding the prisons, the prison was a place where they would use the prison force to grind various kinds of wheat flour or rice flour and other things. Therefore, in Hindi, they don't say jail, they say chakki peesne gaya tha. The chakki piecifying. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Ji says that you are a part of this world and you will be sampramardana, well ground, only if you leave the base, the kutastha, the peg, around which the stone is rotating. If you leave that and go away from that core, that is when you will be ground. Instead, get back to that core, reconnect to that core within. In spite of being in this revolving samsara chakra, you will be the one who will be protected in spite of being in it. And where is that core that we have to be connected? Right here. It is not in Kashi, it is not in Kailas, it is not in Makkah, it is not in Jerusalem. It is right here. Going to those places, those tirtha-kshetras, help you refocus. But ultimately, where is that focal point? Right here. Until our focal point changes from outside to inside, away from this ego, into that divinity within. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Constantly, every single moment, every single experience, we are ground by the system. And thus being ground, when you tell such people, accept life as it comes, frustration only multiplies. Accept it as the blessings of the divine. Oh, my foot, where is the blessing here? I am being whipped from all directions and you call this blessings? There is no God, no religion, nothing. Therefore, to such a one who is constantly being bound by the samsara, first thing is to provide a platform of stability within. As soon as that pressure of samsara increases, you can go into that hive within, create that environment within in your heart, wherein the moment you utter the name of the Lord, you are taken to that core within, from where, having reached where, you can watch all the turbulences. Even before withdrawing, learning how to disconnect. Withdrawal is the final step. To be able to be there and yet be disconnected. Standing from where you can watch all this. Therefore, constantly do the japa, upasana, sadhana. Without these processes, it is easy to topple because the mind is not focused. The organs of perception action are not disciplined, and the intellect lacks clarity. Perfect recipe for a constant disaster. Okay, if you go into the nitty-gritties, of the 10 organs of perception and action, is there any one organ which is under control? Any habit that we develop, is it under control? Did all of us, were we born from the mother's womb connected with a coffee tube? Or a tea tube? As soon as you came out of the mother's womb, did you say cha, cha? No. It was only later that you got into that habit. A simple glass of hot water, spoilt and boiled to be called tea, can create enough trouble and turbulence for the entire day. Why are you like that? I didn't have my coffee. I need mine. I think I have also been corrupted living in this country. Last time I had gone to India and somebody offered tea. It was like in this size. And I said, I need more. It is almost the size of a bucket here. I need my bucket of coffee early in the morning, and then as it goes inside, now I have kick-started my day. And something has to kick so that you can get started. If you go into the nitty-gritties, every aspect of it is in a... So focus on regaining that balance at every single step. And don't do a counterproductive step. Suddenly stop everything. No coffee, no tea. It's a migraine. Do not do Rakshasa Prayoga. I will not sleep on the bed anymore. I will sleep on the floor, hard floor. I will not drink coffee, tea. I will wake up early in the morning, 3:30. ठीक है. Don't overdo it either. One step at a time. Hasten, but slowly. Understand the pace. When they say that you have to be relentlessly working at it, it is because there are so many aspects, so many layers, and each layer has to be peeled out gently. And thus when we start putting effort, we see that life is not a torture. We see that life and experiences are not burden. Responsibilities are not burdens. They are joys to deal with. I was just talking to one mother today. Around 3:30, 4 o'clock, she had called. And suddenly she said, "Oh, I hear the school bus. Baap re baap, bacche aag rahe hain. I think I have to go now." I said, "They're your own kids." And they look at the reaction. I had only smile on my face when I heard that reaction. Baap re baap, bacche aa rahe hain. Kiske bacche? Not neighbor children, your own children. But look at the reaction. Therefore, if we have to get out of this sampramardanaha, and also God, why is He in the form of this death, decay, disaster, destruction? So that we wake out of our slumber, wake up and start working to recognize what? In the next word He says, aha samvartakaha. Again, varta is a root word here again. Samvartakaha. At one side, He is the one who punishes. On the other side, He is the one who encourages and inspires also. Pravartakaha, samvartakaha. The one who inspires. Provided we learn to learn from every single experience that we go through. Not a single experience that we ever go through is a waste. It's a valuable lesson learned. Where we go through life as Monday again. What are you waiting for? TGIF. And not a single experience is a waste. Not a single environment is a waste. Learn to flower and spread your fragrance where you are potted. Instead, what do we? If I were in that pot, closer to the window, I would have been better. Well, the fact is that you are not there. You are here. Find a method, find the process to grow here. You are in this time, in this particular environment. Not out of a mistake. It is for a reason. The sooner we understand, the sooner we get out of that cycle. We keep hearing people saying this. Why does this have to happen with me always? Inside I am smiling very loudly. If I smile loudly outside, people will get irritated. Especially at that moment. If life seems to be on a constant repeat mode and still we have not learnt from it, what does it show? That we are not living a conscious life. Why is it happening again and again? Because I am not being conscious. I am not learning the right things from that set of experience. And then we go on a completely tangent logic. Why do bad things happen to all good people? And there is such a self-righteous proclamation there that I am good. Ha ha ha, big joke. I am not bad, I am not as bad as the rest of them. Who gave you the authority to bloat away with that kind of judgment about yourself? Are you getting the flaw there? To even question that I am very righteous, I am very good, why is this happening to me? If it is happening, find that which I have to learn from it, so that I strengthen myself, I become wise and move forward. That even if as a test the same kind of experience is thrown at me, I know how exactly to handle it. When I watch cricket, I find it such funny game that those who can torture the batsmen, the ace bowlers, are actually the tail enders of the other team. They know how to bowl. They do not know how to face it. And when balls are thrown at them, you can almost see their face and you can tell that they are almost screaming, why me? Baba, balls will be thrown at you. Experiences will keep coming. Same kind of experience will keep repeating. Therefore, to all those couples when they come and they say, we are thinking of divorce, deal it this life or continue it next 7 lives. 7 lives? No, we will. You think that you can avoid runaway? Own up. Bring in that change. But the ego is so stupid and so strong at that moment. To change, we assume that we are giving in, and I don't want to give in. Why should I? Stupidity. Now when I am talking in a very generic sense, don't pull out a specific example. When such kind of experience happens, what is that individual should learn? Don't trivialize the issue right now. Because 99.99% of our life is on a repeat mode. Same things day in and day out we have to keep repeating. Do I ever cry foul? How long do I have to speak the same thing again and again and again? However long it takes for these flowers to, these plants to flower in that pot. Don't I do it with smile? Because it is invalid to ask that question, how long? As long as it takes to learn that nugget of wisdom from that experience, so that I can step into the next realm. It's like playing a video game, Baba. How long will you keep repeating that round? You get it? As long as it takes you to achieve that final score or final tipping point, from where you can lead to the next level. And the next level is unlocked until then. Even as stupid a game as Angry Birds. Have you played? All of you? Good. I am reaching out with a good example. Why doesn't it allow me to go to the next thing? Why is it repeating? Similarly, life seems to be repeating. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Accept, learn, grow. He is the one who is the inspiration. He is the one who is giving that dynamism for us all around us so that we grow to the next level. Would you ever put your children in any danger? Would you? You can take them to some risky situations, and where is there not a risk? Have you taken your children to the sports field? Recently there was somebody who was having a swelling on their foot. I was checking that, and that person was getting so anxious. Maybe it is broken. So I just pressed and different points and checked. And like, it hurts. Maybe it is broken. I said, if it were hurt, if it were broken, and if I would put this finger here, I would get an immediate response with the other leg towards me. You would want to kick me away as far as possible. That would be the instant response if there is something broken up there. And if your leg has this amount of movement, how do you know this? You are not a doctor. No, I am not a doctor, but I have broken every joint. When you go into the field, soccer, football, whatever, there is this funny game that they play in this country. A small little net on a stick, and they keep running. Lacrosse. Whatever be the game, are there not injuries in there? Do you tend to be overprotective and say, "Beta, you will fall and break your bones"? No, don't play anything. Sit at home. In fact, they have so much of energy that you put them into two classes every evening. By the time they come back home, they feed them. Next day early morning, drive them back, drop them in these 3-4 places, done. Where is there is a point where there is no risk? Every aspect. So don't start the day with the fear. And you don't have to be right every single time. It is not the effort taken to be right, but to know what is right once and for all. So that you are not scared of life anymore. Aha samvartakaha. Ahaha. Ahaha means day. So as soon as there is sun rising and there is glorious day spreading out, everybody seems to be whipped into action. That one who whips everyone into action by force or by pressure. Now what is one thing for which everybody gets whipped into action? Udara nimittam bahukruta veshaha. Papi pet ka sawal hai. To fill that belly, you will do any kind of stuff. Don't we all get whipped into action? But how efficiently, how effectively, how beautifully we end up doing it, so that we unwind ourselves from this pattern and grow closer to that core within rather than away from that core. That choice each one of us has. Aha samvartakaha. Vahnihi. Vahnihi. He is the one who is the fire. One way of looking at it is, without that life principle, is there fire in the body? And that fire which is sustaining, when that fire is taken away, what remains? Is just ash. The first time I realized this concept of fire, it was such a amazing revelation. I read it in Panchadashi, Vedanta Panchadashi by Vidyaranya Swami. He says any vastu has its shape only because there is fire in that element. You withdraw that fire from that element, from that vastu, there is no more shape to that vastu. If we are able to live, interact and have this shape of interaction, it's because of that fire which is enlivening each one of us. So every day that I am up, is God trying to smile at us and say, beta, another chance, try. For the amount of failures that we carry, there is one person who has complete faith in us. Whether we have faith in him or not, he seems to have complete faith in us, and it is him. If somebody that you have employed does not give the intended results, how many opportunities will you give? How many opportunities? Once or twice? आप बड़े strict हो. How many times will you give opportunity? 2 or 3? Little rigid still. Look at the liberal man. Every single day that we wake up, he is saying, beta, another chance, try. Don't give up, try again. Or else what is the faith in the, and there is this beautiful statement, Nishvase natu mama vishvasaha. That air goes out, what guarantee is that you can breathe it again? And we are able to breathe in again. It is His grace that we are having an opportunity to interact, to try it again. That fire of life is being maintained. And every ritual, every process, everything that we do starts with lighting the lamp or the fire. Because that fire is the indication of knowledge, that fire is the indication of this fire of life. Vahnihi is the very expression of Lord which sustains all shapes and forms. Ahat samvartakaha vahnihi. Anilaha. Anilaha, one simple meaning, air. That we all know. There are 3 other meanings of this anilaha. Nilaha means beginning. Anilaha, that which does not have beginning. Does air have beginning? Does air have end? Is it flowing everywhere? So the Lord is Anilaha. Anilaha, that which never has a beginning. Anilaha also means, Nilaha means The same root word for nilayaha. Nilayaha, home. Anilaha, that which is homeless. Poor Bhagwan is homeless. Anilaha or aniketaha means the same. Why is he homeless? Because that which is all pervasive cannot be bound in one space. Therefore, he is everywhere, hence cannot be sheltered under one roof. Anilaha, the one who is homeless. Next time you go to a homeless shelter to serve, you can tell them, our God is also like you. Homeless. Because you cannot provide a shelter for that which is all pervasive. He is everywhere. And the third meaning, he is also the enjoyer of the food. Anilaha. Adyateti cha bhutani. The one who sustains the world as food and the one who devours everything as food. Both ways. So, Anilaha. Meaning he gives opportunity as the air that we breathe in, life breath, so that we can understand that beginningless principle, that which is unbound, anilaha, that which is not bound by a space or a environment, and that which is food for everyone. Dharani dharaha. Dharani dharaha. Dharani, earth. Earth is what supports us all. Prakriti supports us all. And who supports that Prakriti? Therefore, Bhagavan has got two divine consorts. One is called Chanchala, the other one is called Achala. In fact, if they are from Andhra Pradesh, there is this new names called Chalapati. The actual origin of that name is Venkatachalapati. And because they have shortened it, they have taken the Venkata, it has to be Achalapati. But because of the wrong Sandhi Vicheda, they name it as Chalapati. It has to be Achalapati, the one who is the Lord of the mountains. Achala is the mountain. Dhara, Dhara is Achala. Dharani Dharaha, Dharani Dharaha, the one who is the one bearing even the earth, that which bears all of us. Dharani is the one who sustains us all, and he is the one who sustains that earth. Dharani Dharaha. Stating what? That as the earth, as the fire, as the air, as the sun, he is giving us every single opportunity so that we reach to the core and not be constantly rubbed and squeezed and destroyed in the time by the time. To become that timeless is a choice, and he provides that opportunity every single day, every single moment. Dharani Dharaha. We'll continue this tomorrow again. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।